You're listening to Unlocking Vulnerability, a podcast produced by Helen, helping you better understand consumer vulnerability. Hello, I'm Helen and welcome to Unlocking Vulnerability. I often get asked by organisations if they should be signposting customers, and if so, how do they go about doing it? In this episode, I'll be looking at what signposting is and how to build an effective signposting resource for your team. During conversations with vulnerable customers, there are going to be times when you recognise the customer might need extra or specialist support. This is the time to signpost. So, what is signposting? Quite simply, signposting is directing people to the support they need. This could be to other individuals or a specialist within your organisation. Perhaps internally there is a vulnerable customer champion, a trained debt advisor, or a mental health officer who has the knowledge, skills and the resources to best meet the customer's needs. Or it could be to an external organisation or charity that provides specific and specialist support. Some of these might include the Samaritans, Step Change, the Alzheimer's Society, or Macmillan Cancer Support, just to name a few. It's not just a case of fobbing the customer off. It's recommending relevant individuals and organisations who offer the right level of specialist support. Signposting gives customers the opportunity to explore other options. They feel listened to, safe to share information, and they have a better chance of getting the necessary support. You may be asking, why is signposting so important? None of us can fully understand another person's situation. If at the end of the conversation we're unable to help, it could be the last straw. The customer may see no other options, they may feel helpless and alone. And if the issue remains unresolved, that individual and their loved ones could be at risk of serious harm. Now, this may sound dramatic. However, Martin Lewis, the money-saving expert, states that almost 500,000 people in problem debt considered taking their own life in England in 2017. And more than 100,000 people in debt actually attempt suicide each year. Without the right support in place, individuals often feel they have no other option. So even if we're not able to actively help, we can direct the customer to access support from someone else. It's not the end of the line. The first step towards effective signposting is to gain a better understanding of the potential vulnerabilities that your customers may be facing. If, for example, you're in the financial sector, there's a high chance your customer base will face challenges with their finances and possibly mental health conditions. Research by the organisation Mind found that money and mental health are often linked. Poor mental health can make managing money harder, and worrying about money can make mental health worse. Once you've gained these insights into your customer base, it's important to build knowledge of the local and national charities that are directly relevant to your industry and your customers. As the example said, a financial organisation can signpost customers to Step Change, the Money Advice Service, Mind, or Mental Health UK. It's important to clarify what each organisation offers and how they can help. Do they provide a listening ear, or is it more practical support? Is the service free? And if not, what's the cost? It's also useful to know how customers can access that help. Is it a drop-in service, online service, or do individuals need to call and speak with someone? Always find out these bits of relevant information, as well as opening hours, direct telephone number, and the website. The next step is to develop a signposting resource. This is a list of the local and national charities and organisations that you've researched. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. It could just be an A4 sheet of paper with a list of the names of the organisations, the telephone numbers, website addresses, and any other relevant information that you've gained. Everyone in the organisation who interacts with customers must receive a copy of this. It's important they read it and memorise it as best they can and have it to hand at all times. Signposting is a vital opportunity to significantly make a difference to the customers we are engaging with. It's also beneficial to get staff out and about into the community, engaging with charities and the individuals they support. I cannot stress this enough. This has a huge impact on how employees view and interact with vulnerable people. It offers a real opportunity to increase awareness and understanding. So if you haven't already, it's time to start understanding your customer base better, create a signposting resource, and build connections with the charities and organisations that fully support vulnerable individuals. And as a start, you can download my signposting resource, which is on my website. I've added the link to the episode content. I just want to finish today's episode with a quote from Bob Marley. "The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively." Remember to subscribe to my podcast and leave a review, and you can also follow me on Twitter @HPettiferTrain, and I look forward to you joining me on my next episode.